Hey, family. Hey, family. Y'all know what time it is. Y'all know what time it is. Y'all know what time it is. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. 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 I wasn't trying to decide whether I was going to come on tonight. Sometimes when you ain't got nothing to do, you pop on. And that's where I'm at. Trying to keep peace in my life. But I went to parole and probation. I sent the message out earlier, but I went to parole and probation. My parole officer was outside. She said, "Hey, Mr. Copeland." And I started telling her about, what I'm going through down at the building. And as far as dealing with the young lady that tried to say I attacked her or whatever. And that was the judge threw that thing out. I'm gonna just put it that way, right? Because she was seeking to my program for help. So the judge threw that on out. But now, the 21st of July, I'm supposed to go to court. I think that's the date. But anyway, I started explaining to her actually what I do and what I was doing before I was arrested 2 years ago, stuff like that. And I was trying to keep it personal, but I told her I know some of her comrades, some of the people that work there with her, doing what I do, and you get to meet like parole officers, rather it's the supervisors, rather it's the managers, because a lot of them be looking for places for people that come in that might not have nowhere to stay. So when you're doing a lot of community stuff, you get to meet people, right? Just like a lot of y'all, and I'm trying to be like y'all, right? I don't want to worry about it because it is what it is, what it is. But a lot of the job corps are going to be closed down. Now, from what I read, it's going to be a temporary thing. And I know a lot of y'all don't care, you know. But they was talking about how some children that don't have nowhere to go is going to be homeless. So it's about finding programs for them. And not just, like housing part, but still get them into programs that will help them continue their education, that will help them, like the workforce development program, stuff like that, right? And I know, because from what I'm saying today, the sad part about it, a lot of us don't give a hell because it ain't yours. You ain't worried about it. What the heck? I know. So, because that's what y'all been really showing to me, right? When it comes to the homeless and the less fortunate population. And now I'm looking at these kids like 17, 16, or 18, maybe 19, the ones that's in Job Corps, trying to get their lives together and stuff like that. And some of them came off the streets or whatever because they was homeless. So they saying it's just a temporary thing. I was reading it where it said it's just a temporary program thing. I mean, just a temporary cutback. Because always some of the money just been misused or too much money going in this area. And they talked about learning to get a grip on it. But in the process of it too, look at the kids that's going to lose out. And not just that our youth is going to lose out. Once they out of those programs, they're not going to be pressed about letting them back in. I'm telling y'all, it could be years from now before they get this thing straight. They might have grandkids themselves. But the reason why I'm sharing that, because I sent it over to my Facebook page, and a lot of us, we're living a good life. That's why I always separate. Like, some of us live in that conservative lifestyle where we don't give a hell about nobody else. And let's be real, because it's not you that's struggling, it's not you that's suffering. So some of y'all carry this attitude, well, I got mine, you got yours to get, rather than carrying this attitude, well, I got mine, and let me help you, let me show you how you can get yours too. I know how all that go, because I'm looking at what I've been facing dealing with the homeless population. And a lot of y'all, and I'm talking about here in Baltimore City, a lot of y'all, I understand your family kind of burnt their bridges, you know, and I understand you don't want to continue, like bending your back, or you know what I mean. You done the best you could. You done it. So in a sense, I can't blame y'all. But still, when I'm trying to say, when you have a program like mine's, right? It's a transitional housing program. And I'm trying to find the words to make it a little bit more simple. But you know how somebody get a place and they might have got a place with somebody else. So they call themselves sharing the bills and stuff like that, the responsibilities of the rental place. Basically, that's what a transitional program is about, but it's on a higher scale. Like, I might get a big building to put people in. Y'all might say things like, why are you taking money from the homeless people? Why you bullying black poor? But you won't let them in your house. You know they need help. And you only send $5. You only send 10 cents to help them. You supposed to have all that stuff for them. No, my housing program is independent living. So they have to come with those things. Or if they don't have them when they come, because I get donations, and some people will drop donations off for them. If once I keep doing what I'm doing, like right on here, when I'm talking about certain things, some people will drop food. Some people will drop, canned goods, clothing. They'll take it down there and drop it. I just tell them put it up on the near the door. But the thing that gets me, and I am in a way, you can't stop, or you can't stop asking for help for them. And if y'all don't like the way I come, that's fine, that's dandy, but it's not about me. If you the type of person that's shy, you're not straightforward, you're not like a big mouth dude like me, you're a speaker, you speak out. If you're not like that, then that's fine. Understand, all of us are not like that. I don't like the fact that, to me, I put my life on the line for our people, and I come up against many obstacles. And for a lot of y'all feel like, well, he deserved it anyway. No, he don't. I got daughters, I got grandbabies, I got a son, I got family, but I'm steady trying to make sure your family okay. But y'all make me out to be the bad person. I'm not robbing, I'm not stealing, I'm not taking from nobody. I come from, the old life. So I know what it's like to hustle. I know what it's like to do all those things. I haven't done that in 32 years. I tell y'all all the time. But some kind of way, y'all find in your hearts, you find in your mind, it's like I'm this scammer. I'm this rotten, no good person. And I'm like, her? Because I tell y'all, and not just that I tell y'all, not just that I tell y'all, I post pictures, I do videos. So basically what I'm saying, anything I say out my mouth, I show y'all the actions. And no matter what, you still find a way to find me to be a lowlife. Show you everything. And I was only told this by other business people. Maybe people don't advertise and promote as much. I'm not making money. I know one day I will gain something, you know what I mean? But I'm not making money, the millions or whatever, Right now, my white box truck sitting in the backyard, busted window. I gotta get that. Ignition put on it. I gotta get that. But I'm stealing money. If I was stealing money, my stuff be fixed right now. I walked past when I left the PO. I walked past where my green truck is at that I put to get fixed. Right? He got it sitting on the side, which I don't have no problem because he got tractor trailers. He got a little bit of everything in there. So the point I'm saying is I got to get the money. At least I said I get about 500 I can give to him so he can start on the truck. But right now it's off the streets. It's somewhere where I feel safe with it. You get me? My white truck, when I got locked up 2 years ago, my stepdaughter father put it on his lot. He does mechanic works, right? So he ended up putting it on his uncle lot for me. And I forgot how much his uncle charged me. But it wasn't no more than about 300. So I'm all right with that because I didn't want to lose the truck. Because that's my donation truck that was given to me by Hellman Builders. You know. So I was able to go ahead, finally pay for the truck because I had to get it towed. I towed it over to the building, which now I probably have to get it towed to the house unless I go back into this building. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. As I was walking from parole and probation, I had to go get my money order to send off my money to parole and probation for the little fee I got to pay. Seemed like I walked 10 blocks before I found the mailbox. But anyway, it was all good because the point I'm walking, you know. So I seen another building, and the building that I looked at, the school with the swing and everything in the back, she told me that they had something else they get ready to do with it, which is fine. I'm like, okay, you know. But I wanted to say, can I have that swing stuff in the bag? I probably will. I'm going to see what they're going to do with it. But if not, what happened when I looked at it, right, it just showed me how I want to set it up for the children. So either that or stand in the building that I'm in, I don't know. Because as I was walking, I was looking around, just walking and talking with God, and I realized it's a lot of places out there that's big enough for me to do what I need to do, you know. But when I look at certain facilities, the first thing come to my mind, I want to make sure do it have a safe place for the children, as far as like a playground, you know, where we can fix it up and they can go out and be kids, you know. So I know God got some bigger and better things coming. Like I said, even if it's for us to stay where we at, I won't know until I get a chance to talk with the owner. That's where I'm at with that. But I'm not really worried about all that because number one, I know what I do. If it's not this spot, believe me, something bigger, better coming. But I'm just looking at safety and all of that. I'm looking at how I am going to have security. I'm going to have security. This time, anybody that's smoking weed is not coming in. Anybody that's doing that type of stuff, anybody, they not coming in. I'm not letting none of it. I'm not, it's certain things that I am from what I'm looking at now, I'm not going to let happen again. Because if you come in, and I'm going to make that clear too, with this he say, she say, ghetto, get together crowd mentality, not here this time. Not here. I will break it up every time. And I don't mean me. I will have my staff do it. The staff that I have, I realize they are not equipped for the type of work that needs to be done for the type of people or population that I deal with. And I'm not worried about that too, because I know God gonna make sure everything is lined up. It's just doing it when that time comes. So I'm going to enjoy the moment for right now. Now, I'm going to say this because I thought about it. I was sitting on the bed talking with God, and my thing is, even though some of y'all come my way, y'all know where I'm at. Y'all know where my heart is at. Y'all know what I like doing for the homeless and less fortunate people. Then you might be a snake. You might be a no good such and such and such. And then you'll come to me anyway until I spot your bull crap. And my thing is, if you know I'm not like that, why ease over here? And I know why you ease over here, because your thing is it's a cash cow for you. I know why you do it. But the thing is, just do your job. That's all I ask. Like I keep saying, mine's is temporary housing. I'm damn good with that. I'm good with housing people, making sure they're comfortable, all of that. And I try not to make them too comfortable because you know they got to go sooner or later. But I try to make my temporary housing is more like a home setting. But I know I don't want you to be too comfortable. But I want you to feel like you're home. Not just like a shelter, like a regular shelter. No. So I know what my business do a little bit different compared to the others. But I don't compare myself to others. I just know when you come into my temporary housing program, I try to make you as comfortable as I can, like if you at your own place. I watch people come in. They be down, they be hurt, their heads down. And after we interact and stuff like that, I watch how they start raising their head. I watch how they start loosening up and they start to enjoy themselves because the goal is to make you comfortable. Then you got those that fight a little bit harder. And it's okay. But the thing is, like I said, when you come in my housing program, it's work that you got to do. And I was sitting up here, Jeff, and I'm walking, right? And it's like what I say out my mouth and what I say, what I do. It's so plain. It's so freaking plain and simple that a 3-year-old or 5-year-old can understand. But it's like when I be talking, adults just don't get it. I'm like, what the hell? And I know I be speaking in plain English. Can tell you everything I do. And you got older people that just don't get it. I can tell you over and over and over. If I rent a property, I am the tenant. These are my clients in my housing program from me renting the property. The owner normally knows that you have a business because you want him to know what's going on so he'll be okay with it. He's normally okay with it as long as he get his rent money. That's all he wants. And you already know what you got to do to make sure that the place is safe, secured. When you run in a business, the fire extinguishers, the exit, I'm trying to think of the escape route, and you know all of that. And I don't care how I tell people this, how I tell grown people this, it flies right over your freaking head. And I know I'm speaking English. It's just like if you rent a regular house and you let, say, like a family member in, and you charge that family member $400 or $500 for the room they in, but they got access to the kitchen and stuff like that. You don't want them to tear up your house, so you want to make sure whoever you put in there keep your stuff clean. And what gets me, y'all grown and don't even understand what I be saying. I be like, huh? What? And I'm going to tell you what really helps me understand that y'all don't get it. Sometimes the questions you ask me. And I'm like, God darn it, didn't I just say that? I can't understand why it's so complicated. Then I tell you my program is independent living. So you have to have some type of income because the whole goal is to help you restructure your life. Then I tell y'all this. I don't get state and government funding, so that means the client has to pay their way. And don't take it wrong, y'all. I'm just saying for some of the stuff that comes back out of grown folks' mouth. It's like you don't understand the word I say. A lot of y'all, mainly if it's for you to try to figure out how you can make some money off them. Because your mind is so stuck on ching, 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 which I'm saying I understand. But when you got people that only have a little bit of money, can't even afford $1,200 a month, $1,500 a month, $900 a month. You might have some places out there like Apartment Wise Studio. They might can get in for 70, $750 a month. Some people can get into houses with the finances is not the problem. It's just their credit score. I share this with y'all all the time. All the time. And some of the questions I get back, I realize y'all don't pay a damn attention to nothing I say. But you're so smart and intelligent. I can tell from a lot. You'll ask me, I can say something right now, and you'll come back 5 minutes later and almost say the same things of what I say. Well, how you do this, how you do it. I said, God dang it, didn't I just say that? That goes to show me either your mind somewhere else, because you ain't paying attention. I'm transitional. Temporary housing, not permanent. And I sit here and tell y'all, the landlords, like maybe mainly the apartment complexes, right? Senior citizen building, studio apartments. Those are the ones that I have to reach out so that the clients can find somewhere permanent to go. I sit here and I told y'all, people like Mr. Allen, that's the owner. He has a contract with HUD Housing. I sit here and share with y'all all the time the process of how we do things to help people to get into a permanent place. And then you'll ask me over and over again. I'm like, didn't I just share that? Didn't I just share this? So a lot of times I'm not being smart. It goes to show me, one, if your heart is not into what I do, then you won't understand. If your heart is, how can I make money first and then help them last, then you won't understand. Because everybody in the beginning, to show y'all what I mean, right? For me to get a housing program, because I do not have the cash like that, I have to work with somebody else to come in. Then I had to work up towards the cash to basically pay that off. So you got to be willing to work with me. But then when you got people that got money that can really help you, at least start it off, it's like they real tight with it. And a part of me, I don't blame you. I don't. But if you see where I come on and I say I seen this building and I might need 10,000, I'm gonna use that as an example. They might want 5,000 for the building and then 5 security. And my thing is, if you can help. It won't take no time to give you back your money. The point is, if you can help. If you can't help, then stay over there. It's not being smart. Don't make me think, because the goal is, look, once again, I got to go back to this. If you have a house and you have a family member that needs somewhere to go and you rent a room out to them, it's like shared housing. Say it again. It's like shared housing. Say it again. And I'm being smart with that, because for us to be grown That just throws me. Well, why this and that? Okay, I can tell you why I look for investors. I can tell you why I look for sponsors, and it will fly right over your head. And everything I say is towards building up on the transitional program. If I tell you one, I don't get state funding, I don't get government funding, then that means I need some help, mainly starting out. Even if you got property for me to get in, and you say, okay, I'll let you in. I'm gonna let you go for like 3 months, 6 months. Thank you. And then you can start paying. Thank you. Because the goal is you want to help the program to help the people. I got 5 daggone messages today from women. And the only thing I can tell them right now, we at a halt. It's a building, another building, because I was looking at, I'm walking, right? And I'm looking over across, I ain't gonna say where, but the lady called me today about the school building thing. And she told me that they get ready to do something else with it, something like that. And I was like, thank you. But I forgot to ask her, can I have them swings and stuff in the back? But either way, it gave me an idea if when I get ready to go to do it. And I ain't feel bad enough. And I was like, okay, because it wasn't that. Because I know God got something, And I'm going to keep saying bigger and better. I know he got something. But this right here, I was like, yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm gonna do that. But God was like, that wasn't the one yet, Steve. And it could be a whole apartment complex where I can put the people in temporary basis, like somebody was telling me, to make it permanent in their own apartment. See, you speak stuff into existence. Come on. I'm not the only one with this type of idea or wanting to do certain things. So somebody might be already there. It might have about 100,000, might have about 30,000 that's sitting in the bank, somewhere, collecting dust. Might go say, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and invest this. The goal is not to cause you to lose money. That's not my thinking. My goal is for us to make money. But sometimes you have to put out in order to earn. But then you got people that's already well-to-do, know the steps financially that you need to at least get where you need to go, and will not do it. Will not do it. Know what you need. Know they got it. Hear my big mouth all the time. See me come up. But then some kind of way they're fixing in their head. Watch the work I do. Show you the box truck that was donated to me. Trying to get that back up so I can start getting more donations and get back to the city. Looked at the green truck today that I said I'm going to use as a transportation truck. I was going to go in there and talk to the mechanic. I seen he had it in a safe place. I said, never mind. I kept walking. But my truck is going to get fixed. It might take a little longer than I want, but it'll get fixed when it's time. I can start using it, say like once we, get back up and running for transportation. To get the kids, back and forth to school or stuff like that. But then too, because I'm not going to be able to do it, I would somebody that has a transportation company, and if they can get like the social services, you know how they get paid for their services. Just do it. I ain't got no problem if you say, Mr. Steve, I ain't got a problem coming in because I know I ain't got to pay you and you can build medical assistance for it or something like that. Let's go. Let's go. Stop making stuff so complicated. Stop. But most people, like I said, the only thing on your mind first is ching, 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 ching. How can I talk ching, 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 ching? I already know the money gonna come. It's just where I'm at. And I'm better off as far as work-wise, because if you look at what I do, right, I'm telling you, it looks great. It's a lot of people that do a lot of work that might make it seem like they profiting a lot. The work is there. The work, the way it's going, but as far as profiting, no. And now, if God see fit for me to take over this building, what I'm gonna have to do, I gotta go in there with security and go from the top on down. Check every crick and cranny in there to make sure whoever ain't supposed to be there ain't in there. All that's coming to mind too. So once again, I need somebody like a security company. I need somebody that's gonna stand firm. I can't use like my staff. My staff is not built for that. My staff is not built for the type of people behaviors that we deal with. Now I can accept one or two people, different people that's being a little, outraged. But when you got about 5 of them, that's a little bit too goddamn much. So, and either way, I learned from my last housing program, right? When I'm in the building, let me make this clear. When I'm in the building, they do not act destructive like that. When I'm in the building, I know from 10 to 4, when I'm there, it's not a problem. Because it's like daddy there. It's like unc there. Come here, why are you acting like that? You better straighten that out. Because my goal is to help people feel comfortable, but I'm that disciplinary. So the goal is to set it up right and put people in front of me so they will kind of like do what, if they know how Steve don't like certain things, tell them. If Steve see this, he goes, hey, Steve, but if you go in there and you trying your own stuff, they're going to buck against you. The reason why? Because you're going to try to be their friends. Now, I can do it because they know I'm the owner. They know I'm coming like daddy. With the women, it's like they my daughters. Even if they like 50-something, I'll pick with them. I might call them sister. I might call them baby girl. Because the thing is, I want us to have a good rapport. You get me? But I know I can't get too close. So I have to have people in front of me. Because there's times where I might have to say, come on, go in the other room, right? And if it's a woman, I'm going to take a woman or two. And that way, it's a team of us. But I might have to, school you for something. And that's because I'm like, unc, dad. So my thing is, don't tell me how to run my stuff. When I'm in there, I'm good at what I do. And they know I ain't for a lot of this stuff. They know I'm not for it. But the moment I'm gone, all hell break loose. Because I seen it before when I had the 2 townhouses. So I realized after hours, they show their butts. So that's why I said I need a 24-hour round the clock. And not only that, not just security plus. I need a medical team. Because when you're dealing with certain people, they have seizures, they have heart attacks, because you're dealing with some that's a little bit older. So I need a medical team in there. But see, my thing is, I'm asking people for the help. And be honest, if you got a security team, company, and you can spare like 2-3 people to come in and just monitor, help. Come on. That's where the wraparound part coming at on everything. That's where the village coming at. But I'm gonna tell you, when it comes to the poor population, those the ones that need the help the most. And I'm telling you from what I see, those the ones that get screwed over the most. They get screwed over the most. Now I'm gonna tell you, I want to make money just like everybody else, anybody else, business-wise. But one thing I understand too, when my time come, my time gonna come. I ain't gonna be able to take it with me. But I want to be comfortable. You know, I ain't got to ride no $1 million car and all that type of stuff. No, because I'm a big dude. I like Armadas. I like trucks, SUVs. I ain't talking about no Cadillac. I ain't talking about Mercedes. I like, to me, I like the Cadillacs, but I'll do like a Yukon, something like that. But either way, I like trucks. I like SUVs. So I ain't looking for no 1.5 million, no $200,000 car that get me from A to B like any other car. Come on, I ain't no. If I spend that type of money on something, I might as well hire me a babysitter and let her push me around in the stroller. Spend that type of money just to drive myself around and look good to impress people. Heck no. If I can pay $80,000 straight out for a brand new truck, I'm all right. Pay for that sucker. That's what my mind is. Come on, I'm 63. Who am I trying to impress? And please, I mean, I ain't even looking at the outfits, because I will hook something up. I know me. I was popping up in town hall meetings in my box truck with a suit and a tie on. Because once I walk through that door, bing, bing, come on. That's because I know who I am in here. And that's what a lot of people don't like, because I have confidence in myself. I have pride in myself. And y'all twist it the wrong way. That's why I help people build character within themselves. Why would you want to turn a person that's self-assured, that's comfortable within himself? And I'm broke as all outdoors. I'm broke. I am broke. I got a couple of hundreds in my wallet and stuff like that and on my cards and stuff, but I'm broke. I don't even realize I got the money in my wallet till I go in my wallet. I got some ones in there. I got some fives in there. I got some 20s in there. To me, I'm broke. Because the money don't make me like that. But I know if I need to go get something, you know, I can. If I feel like going to get me another 12 packs of Diet Pepsi, I can. If I want to go and get me, which I did, another thing of coffee, I can. If I want to go and buy me some liquid caramel chocolate caramel creamer, I can. If I want to get the liquid kind, I can. If I want to go and get the powder kind, I can. If I want to go buy some Sweet and Low, I can. If I want to get the small one, or I want to get the 251, or if I want to buy a box, I can. If I want to go to Hawaii, I can. Might have to save up Blue X money though. If I might want to go to Hong Kong, I can. I ain't going to go to Hong Kong. I don't know them. I'll be over there Hong Kong down, but they be like, you big mouth black boy, Dubai. Go back to Baltimore City. We heard about you over here. We don't need you to come on. Walk on your mouth. I'll be like, forget y'all, dude. Don't be talking about me. But I can. But no, what, seriously though, that's the stuff I realized. You know, you get what you can afford. You get what you like. You know, If you can afford, like Trump and them, go buy your own personal plane, fine. Jet, fine. You might buy one, I might have to catch one, but we still fly. Because you buy your own jet, you got to buy your own fuel. If you're not dropped, you got to get somebody faithful. So I'll take the cheap way. I'll get on one and let the pilot drive and let somebody else pay for the gas and all that. Come on. I can. No, I'm just saying it, right? Because I had a friend one day, right? What I had at the time, I think I had a Ford Explorer. And he said, "Oh, I'm gonna go get something, right?" He said something. And you know, you get what you can afford. I think he went and got a Mercury during that time that looked at like the Ford Explorer. I forgot what year it was. But my thing is, you know, you get what you can afford. Or in a sense, what you like. Anything I get in, anything I drive, be honest with you, that sucker gonna look right anyway. It can be 20 years old. Cause I know how me is with, I know how I am with how I like stuff. My green truck is a 2004. So I can get historic tags on it now. But the thing about it, the truck still look good. You know, can use a little touching up, fresh paint, bam. And I can still ride around in it and be just as comfortable compared to somebody with a brand new one. Look just as good. Shine it, tires nice, because I know me. And if I ride up beside you and you're in a $500,000 car, it wouldn't even matter. Hi, how are you? My truck higher than yours. Your car sit down. I'm in the truck. When I step out, I step tall. When you step out, you step short and you got to go tall. But I'm already tall. That's the way I look at it, right? No, but seriously, though, and I'm trying not to. I really am. And when I say I'm trying not to, because everything I do and helping out homeless people and everything, and I do look forward to y'all to help me help them. And because it's like I'm not getting the help and I can't understand why people look at this as like something evil. Because I don't know where your minds be at. I don't know. And when I look at Christ, and I do not want to figure none of this stuff out that's happening in today's world. I do not, because I'm trying to figure out why y'all not this, why y'all not that. I ain't trying to drive myself crazy. I don't know what it is. I don't know why. I don't know what's in the water. I don't know if Lucifer been loose now. I don't know if it's 1,000 years that came up. I don't know. But I know some of the stuff I see is something ain't right. That's all I could say. And then you got these churches, right? Making collections and know I'm on here. Know I need help with the people that Christ came to help. The low to moderate income, people. And tell me he didn't. And watch when I take you back to when he came to the men that was fishing. He knew they was real good at what they was doing. They didn't know Christ. But Christ said, hey, Steve Copeland. I was like, what? He said, come, follow me. Why? Jesus. He said, because you are the big mouth bald head black dude. I need you coming going to the city with me. No, I ain't going to stay and finish fishing. Now, see how I twist that up to fit my narrative? Because a lot of y'all act like you only know what you actually here for. He came here to help me be a millionaire. And he said, the heck with the rest of them. Well, he didn't come for you in that sense. He knew you was living right. Yeah, you can still come to him, but he came for the lost generation, his chosen people, the one that's slipping through the cracks. Or at least that's what I got out of it. And if I'm wrong, please help me. Because if you try to help me and tell me I'm wrong, you're still a liar. If that's not what he told me, do the word. David, I know. But look, because you said that, right, I got to go here. I do deal with a lot of like community groups that do excellent work, like We Ours Us. I'm not going to badmouth Safe Street too much, but I know what happened along that way. And then we got Baltimore's Peace Movement. You know, we have a lot of nonprofits out there that's active in the community that I walk alongside, a lot of them. And the things that hurt me with a lot of them, they know me. And they know what I do. And I know because of my big mouth. And I know because of the way I come. They might find it as an embarrassment to them. But it's not to me. It's to them. You get it? It's not to me. If that's the way I carry things, just respect me for where I'm at. My thing is, I spent a lot of my life before Christ called me trying to win the approval of other people first, and then God. When I read across that scripture and it hit me long time ago, I was steady trying to win favor and approval in men and then God. But in Proverbs, it talks about winning favor in God and then man. But basically what it was saying too, when you win in the favor in God, man will see it. And y'all miss it. And my bishop said, trying to get prove thyself. When I'm trying to quote the words back the way he said it, but basically what he's saying is prove yourself to God. Is prove yourself to God. Because basically what we have a tendency of doing, once again, we want to win the favor in people first because they see what we do. It's like praise her, praise her, praise her. But my thing is because of what I do, and you see it in the actions. The only thing I'm saying, in a way, I can't do this by myself. This thing is draining the hell out of me. I cannot. And in a way, I'll be like, help! Help me! They'll be like, no! We ain't helping you. You ain't helping me. Help them. That's what I'm saying. Help me, help them. Help! It's draining me. When I came back from parole and probation, I got back in the bed and went to sleep. Got up, it was 5 o'clock. I was like, thank you. I said, I ain't getting on here. I ain't messing with nothing. I rushed my butt up. Because sometimes, I get drained. And then you got to look at it like this. Because I'm doing all the right things. I want to say righteous, you know what I mean? I'm not perfect, so don't get it wrong. But a lot of the stuff I used to do, I just don't do no more. That's the best thing I can say to y'all. A lot of that stuff, it's like I outgrew and it don't feel right no more. And I love when I first came around and my pastor said, when you come to Christ, he said back then, he said, some stuff will fall instantly off. Then when he said it might take 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years, that helped me to understand with some things it's a process from the way he broke it down. So that's why I could sit here and say, it's a lot of the stuff that I used to do, like in my 30s, my 40s, my 50s, and I'm in my 60s. So it's a lot of stuff I used to do, I just don't do no more. So it's not the perfection of it, right, or trying to be perfect. It's just I started understanding and I begin to grow. Some of those things just don't feel right no more. So if you want to say I repented, that's fine. If you want to say God delivered me, that's fine. But then I started to understand too that God delivered me from it. Just like right now, when I tell y'all I haven't used smugs or had a drink in 32 years, right? That's just a day at a time. So I can say I've been delivered. I can say God, Lord, took that desire. But I'm just talking about today. You get me? I don't know what might happen tomorrow. I don't know what might happen later on. But I know right now, to be honest with y'all, I don't have a desire. And thank you, God. Because I just thought about that. Thank you, God. Hey, Max. So, and that's how I look at it. That's how I look at it. Just for today. Just for today. What I do, I thank God just for today that I have not picked up no drugs. My I was trying to watch that word for TikTok. I have not picked up nothing. And 32 years and counting. And I thank God. I thank God. Thanks, bro.
36 now.
Let's see.
I'm 36 years now, not 35.
Oh,
I'm 30. I'm 36 years clean and sober as of January 16th. Is my clean date.
congratulations.
1990.
And see, in saying that, what OG is saying, right? We just use the day. And it's a guy, right, I was talking to. And he said he had 17 and he relapsed and he got a year now. And somebody told him, don't look in his past or such and such and such. I said, no, don't. That's not true. Because basically what we're doing, we're sharing our experience, strengths, and hopes, right? And it's not to stay stuck in your past. So we can tell you some of the failures in our lives, but then tell you what we did to be able to come up out of it. Then we could sit back, and this is what I do on the couch talk.
But see,
come on.
But see, not all. But see, not everything that we go through will work for anyone else. We can only supply them with the tools. It's up to them to apply them to their own way of life.
Right. Right.
But I mean, that's just what we do. We give back what was given to us.
And see, that's the key.
That's the knowledge. That's the knowledge, the know-how, and the will to do it one day at a time.
And see, one thing throughout my years, I was always taught, you talk a little bit about how it was. And the reason why, because everybody didn't do it the way I did it, but we talking about the pain. And you might have, did that part. I did this, using. So, but it was the pain that we all can relate to. But it didn't matter how you did it. It was how you were sedating your pain. So, and some people, what I learned too, it's not all about the smugs or the alcohol or the liquid, right? It could be some of them, I'm talking about the pain wise. Some of them could be dealing with grape issues, abandonment issues. Because I had sponsored a few people too that never used, but it was It was the behavior that they was practicing. Rather, it was gambling, all of that. Because when you look at the addicted personality, right, and people might look at it just with the smugs, but lying is another one. Lying, jealousy, insecurities, it can take over you and cause destruction in your life. So that's why anybody that comes in my life as a sponsor, I'm going to observe you. And then on top of that, because I have to, and I have to listen to you in order to know how to help you. That's why when you hear people wanting to overtalk you every time, that's a part of poor communication. And when you sitting back and you say, okay, let me. But with me, and to be honest with you, it's not ego and pride. Because I'm so used to listening, I have to listen to people to better know how to work with them. So whenever I come on this, and if you come up and think you can overtalk me with your bull junk, no, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Because 9 times out of 10, I'm in that teaching mode, and you might not like it. And I'm sharing not from my opinion, not from what I think, not from how I feel, not from me doing research off of Google or something. No, I'm sharing from what I've been through, from a personal experience, and how I was able to recover from it. So if you want to come in and you want to twist it and fix it and say why you didn't that, I'm telling you something I already done and how I was able to overcome it. I just told you. And a lot of times, again, not being smart, that it showed me how much you listening. Because when you start questioning it, and I noticed this too, and this is not to knock nobody, a lot of times you hear. So I can get to talking, and you already got the answer before I finish talking. Know why? Because you're not really listening. You're thinking about what you can respond to quick. You waiting. That's why people tend to cut other people off a lot. Because you listen to respond, which is it's a good sign, and it's a good indication that your communication skills is screwed up. Now, I can tell you this, and I can say it 1,000 more times, maybe 1,000,000. I am known as the big mouth bald head dude. A lot of times, you cannot out-talk me. You can't. Because I'm used to speaking out about things. And I get loud about it. And you don't want me to go there. Because then when I do get loud, you're going to be like, why are you screaming like that? That's just where I'm at. And I will go. So a lot of times, I have to humble myself. When you see me back up and shut up, that's me humbling myself. Because I know me. And that's why I tell people you don't want to go there. Because the goal is not for me to go back and like this with you. But the goal is when I see you doing certain things, the thing is to chump you down. You might know it too because of you doing what you do. But when you come up, the goal is to find a way to have you chump you down, to bring you down. And I'm talking more about your spirit. It's to bring it down. Bring it down. And you won't even realize it. Bring it down. That's why a lot of my clients, because I know the condition they're in, and if they're in a state of mania, I'm saying certain things to them to snap them out. I ain't gonna say you crazy, because I already know where you at. I already know what you're doing. So the goal is to find a way to say something, snap you out. That's what me and Wim was talking about the other day when I said, Wim, sometimes I'll have to call 911. And if you come, and if that client is still acting the way they acting, I'll tell you to tell them this. And you be like, no, I can't tell them that. I said, tell them or her. Say, Mr. Copeland said He don't want you no longer want him in his program. He don't want you no longer in his program. No, I can't say that. I'm putting him out. I said, no, say it. Because if you're dealing with a homeless person and you threaten to make them homeless again, they'll snap. Well, see. And I'll tell them that. The first thing they go, I can't do that. I can't do that. And I done had polices. I said, yes, you can. Because I done had polices tell them. And once they do it, they'll start, because their mind is racing. But the problem is, you don't want to freaking listen. And I deal with certain people all the time. So I know for me, because they used to hear my voice, but they're not catching it. Sometimes you got to say something to bring them out of it. Remember when Wham said, because sometimes we come around and act normal. I said, they do.
I cannot, you know what? I can actually identify with that because I have been homeless, found a spot, and then turned around and had to be homeless right back again. Oh, yeah, I was mad as fuck. Hell no. That's retaliation. Sorry. Worked your ass off to get it, and then all of a sudden you're going to go back homeless? No, I don't think so.
And see,
at least with your program, nobody's ever going to have to go homeless because you always have a place for them.
Right.
There should be no homelessness. There should be no homelessness, none of that around.
A guy called me today, right? About a couple in my program. He said, this 908. Anyway, I'm going to make it short. The girl got her voucher. In Virginia. So he was calling to me, questioning me about what's what. And I couldn't actually at the time, I had to picture who it was. And it hit me. I said, look, because they from Virginia, but they in the building. And he actually thought it was a townhouse. I said, no, it's a transitional house. I said, temporary to permanent. I said, now I have her and her husband in that area where they came in May to have them somewhere to go for June. So now the voucher must have came to her mother's house in Virginia, and her mother must have told him about me. And I told him.
Okay.
I said, look, please help him. I said, whatever you do, I said, help him. Right? Remember when I told you about the girl smoking in the window that started that fire? It's her and her husband. Yeah. And my thing is, right, they cuss me the fuck out. Husband. They cuss me out. And I said, please help. Because number one, I know the type of people we're dealing with, right? And what I was letting them know, this is what the program is about. The goal is to hold them until something permanent come about. So when he told me the voucher came, he got a voucher. Or I'm thinking it's the mother now. Because my thing is why they didn't call me and tell me. But that's one of the people that I've been beefing with. Because of Miss Deborah. And my thing is help them. Help them. I'm like, please get them in there. Because she's not from Baltimore. If they can get her back home, take her, go. And I was looking at all this bull junk we going through, right? All the stuff I'm going through with them because of Miss Deborah crazy ass. All of them. No matter what. They talk about me like I'm a dog. I still want the best for them. And that's why I told him, I said, man, because when I realized what was happening, and she must have applied for a voucher a while back, and it finally came. I said, whatever you can do. I said, get her in. Her and her husband. So I told Tashawn, because I went to look and see that I have her folder. I told Tashawn to tell him, I said, call me. Because if she knew the voucher came, she should have reached out to me. Because number one, you want to be on the same accord when you're talking to people. Because I don't want to say something and they didn't already say this and said that, something that will spoil or mess up their chance. So either way, if she got a voucher and you willing to accept her voucher, take them in. So that's why I ran the program more down to him and what the transition program is about. And then when he said he's up in Virginia, I was like, shoot. Look, because you want people like that, that's apartment complex or housing that will work with them. That's the whole goal of the program. And right now, I know this young lady needs more than that. She needs some professional help. But the thing is, at least she will be back home because her mother's up in Virginia. For whatever reason she's here, I ain't go through all that. But if they can get as far as back where she came from in her own area, right, take care of her. That was the whole thing about that call when he called me. And I told him this, Jeff. I said, my phone is on vibrate, on silent. For some reason, I answered it. I happened to dig in my pocket and pulled it out. It wasn't vibrating or nothing. You know how you just look at it? And so happened I seen the number. I seen him call it. And I answered. And when it clicked, my thing is, right, help her. Because that's where we at now, the transition side to the permanent. So if however you can bring her in, accept that with her. And that's what I told him. I said, man, I'm like, look, work with her. Now, I don't know how much that voucher might be for. Because some people that get vouchers or Section 8s or stuff like that, low income stuff, they can't afford a regular rent. So whoever gave him my number to call me, it was either her or it dawned on me her mother. Because I spoke with her mother up in Virginia too. So my thing is that phone call was meant. And see, a lot of y'all, see, certain things touch me, right? But see, a lot of y'all don't realize that's why I do what I do. That's why I do what I do. And then I'm looking at this, OG. I'm not in the building right now. I can go. But I just don't want to be around right now a bunch of mayhem, chaos, and confusion. I just don't want it. So I feel better inside because I was able to talk to my PO. And I said, I got something I want to tell you, to tell her who I am and what I do. Even though I'm talking with them for some fake bull junk that happened to me, I told her, I said, I'm not trying to get myself in trouble to go to prison for nobody. I said, that's not where I'm at. I'm 63 years old. I do this, I do that. And once I told her about the population of people I mess with, she was telling me, well, you know how you got to distance yourself. You put people in between you. You know, she wasn't saying nothing negative because she understands certain things happen for certain reasons, you know. But then here I am on this side. And I told her too, just like some of the people that might come in here and don't have nowhere to stay or looking for housing that's struggling, I can sign them up for my program, even though I'm coming to see the PO. But for other reasons that had nothing to do with me. So the thing is, if you can help people, you help them. Help them. Now this time, because I told you they doing some work on the other building, OG, but that's not a problem. But anyway, I'm going to have to find another building, if not go back into this building. It all depends. But I know the building is there. It's just waiting to see what happens. And it might just be, I feel like whatever's going to be bigger and better, or even to blow this up. But I'm telling you where I'm at with the landlord, with the owner, I'm sorry. I'm waiting for that phone call from him to see what's the next step. I ain't calling. And another thing too, be honest, I ain't trying to hear this she said, he said, all that. I ain't trying to hear it. Because number one, I know certain people that don't know me like her, that really don't know me like her and her daughter, is bad mouthing me in their own way. When I came in to help y'all, not take from y'all. And your mother knew that. But y'all will find a way to fix it. And keep saying, oh, he was trying to do it. He was trying. No, he was trying to make sure the people's okay. And then on top of that, OG, why am I going to go into something that you're not familiar, you didn't know, and they're going to say you didn't want children in there, but I'm showing you the area I'm going to use as a daycare. Then we in the yard area, and I think I showed it to you, Jeff. I took a picture of it. Where we can make the swing area like this stuff in that yard up there, I can put right there for the slide for the kids and stuff, the 2 swing. Just gave me a vision and fix it up real nice, right? And I'm running all this down to her. But I ain't want no kids. And then all of a sudden, you don't want no kids. It wasn't about you. Told you everything. The garden space right there, the area for the adults to, have their little smoking area, resting area. You knew everything, but all of a sudden now you don't. Trying to make it seem like I went past you to do whatever I wanted. No, if I can't, I'm not. Why would I come into somebody else's facility with a bunch of people without your approval? I don't roll like that. And Christine Flowers, you've been knowing me for I don't know how many years, but I know it's been a lot of years. You know I don't roll like that too. And you know I don't roll turning my back on the homeless people. I don't do that. So anytime somebody talk negative in a way against me, y'all need to have corrected that. Oh no, that's not him. It ain't, I was going to say like him, but oh no, that's not him. Because certain things I just don't do. You can fix your mouth to say whatever you want. Certain things I just don't do. And number one, I don't take people freaking money for nothing. And so many people know that. So when you hear somebody trying to badmouth Steve Copeland, mainly when it come to women, I told y'all, my mother raised me. I take care of women. So what I'm a rob from women for? When I'm so used to taking care of women. Now, if you're not like the women in my housing program, you're not my girl. But if it's things that you need that I can help provide for you, like the little person, you know what I mean? I wouldn't want to see you wear somebody else's underwears. So yes, a lot of times I will take you to the store to get it. The brand new ones. I don't do it. And say like, you need your little, if we don't have them in the building, I might ride you past the store to get them. It ain't no might, I will. If you come in and I see y'all don't have food or whatever, or you might want something from the Chinese store, I will buy it. The hell I'm gonna take that money for? I ain't like that. You fix your mouth to say little stuff like that. Oh, he did. Oh, he did. No, he not. So I had to remind myself, right? Don't be spending your money all the time. That's why you broke. But that's just that daddy part of me. That a male responsible type dude. And be honest, sometimes I gotta realize, Steve, you can't help everybody. You can't do it. I done brought guys cigarettes in there. Can you give me a couple of dollars to get some cigarette or two? Sometimes I just stop past the store and just bought a pack of cigarettes. Because I know at times they don't have it. I don't be taking nobody goddamn on, please. Please. So with me saying a lot of that, right? Some things I have to learn not to do. I have to tell myself, Steve, don't do this, don't do that. Then now and then I'll help. But if a woman coming, and God knows if I know you don't have the proper stuff, and I zero in on it, I'm gonna try to make sure you get it. That's just me. And I ain't asking you like most of y'all probably do. Well, if I get this, you gotta give me some of that. I don't do that. Mm-mm, 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 mm-mm. If I gotta give the women, and I'm saying now because I have women that I have that's in front of me now. Because this time, like I was telling somebody, when I came back to doing what I'm doing, I said I gotta put a staff in front of me. Because a lot of times when I was by myself, I didn't have as many as I have now. But when I was by myself, you know, people take your kindness for weakness a little more. So I had to put uh, a team in front of me. That's why Wanda there. That's why Phyllis there. That's why Tashawn there. It's a couple of other ones that come in. Then I had Steve there. Steve was my operations, my director, director of operations. I introduced them to Miss Deborah, Harry Mead, uh, Wanda. That was the worst thing I could have done. Because they started falling for her bull junk. Next thing I know, they turned against me. I'm like, wait a minute. Come on, y'all. Wait. I've been knowing Steve for 17 years. I've been knowing Wanda for over 20 years. I've been knowing Mr. Harry for a little over 2 years. And all of a sudden, I became the target. I said, no. And then not being smart, I was thinking about it tonight, OG. When me and her hooked up as far as partnering, she started bad mouthing what's name that introduced me to her. That mess just dawned on me tonight. I was like, God darn. And then now she took them and made them think I was the bad person. I'm like, come on, y'all. Look, I asked y'all to come and help me with the clients. She should not have put her mouth over here. And then it dawned on me she did Marlo the same way to me. But the thing is, Marlo, I've been on Marlo for over 20-something years. He's my church member. And it hit me. She was bad-mouthing him too to me. But I didn't jump on her side like that. Oh, yeah, no. And the good part about it, like they should have realized, I've been knowing this man way before her. Remember when he started basically his program? And it hit me today, OG. I was like, oh my God, she doing the same things to them that she was doing with me with Marlo. You wait till I talk, Marlo, if you looking at me. Now I'm going to get your butt. Remember I told you, OG, he going to be like, I'm going to tell y'all how smooth Marlo is, right? What did you learn from that? I want to say, he's like, what you learn from it? Because that's how he is. What you learn from it? And you know, first thing hit my mind, that motherfucker. And I'm telling y'all, it hit me, and I'm gonna tell him too. I'm gonna say, you know what? That's why you passed that butter on to me, because you probably thought I could be the hand up better. No, you wait, and I hope you looking, because he probably over there laughing his butt off. But what I love about Marlo, oh my God, when it comes to his return to citizens and all of that, he just worked with the man. He go out speaking, go to other cities speaking about you know, return to citizens and stuff like that. And not just him, Janet Graham in Baltimore City. Um, she works with the return to citizens. She goes to the prison when they being released and bring them out. Lady J, she's a minister, so that's part of her ministry. And then she do the Innocence Project as well too. So, and Marlo, but see, these are community people that I deal with, and a lot of times because I'm a little bit rough with the way I do stuff, in y'all eyesight, to me it's normal, but in y'all eyesight, I might be a little bit rough and unprofessional to y'all, but that's just the way I come. Now, if I'm in public now, don't get it wrong. If I'm in town city hall or we at a rally and I'm asked to speak, you know, no, I feel more free here when it comes to me speaking and being myself. But when it comes to me being out like that, one, I'll go up, but at times I'll make a joke out of things too through the process. And people be out there laughing and everything. Because even though it's serious, even though the things that's happening is serious, we can also laugh about it too. And I thought about Tim Fazenberger, right? What he was running for president of the council members, if president of council president, the spot that Brandon Scott had before he became mayor. Now he's a Republican, and that's how him and I met. Alexander, me, him, Alexander. Matter of fact, me, Cherie, when we was serving at Park Heights, we invited the Democrats and the Republicans out because we were serving the community. And by this time, my friend Christopher Burnett had asked me to come and help the Republicans win their Republican seats, right? For mayor, council member, a senator, congressperson, all that, because Kim Klacik ran for Congress. So anyway, he asked me to help them. And be honest, I said, okay, Chris, I'll help them. I said, I'll come because I do this. But the point of me saying that, right? God dang it. It just flew out my head. The point of me saying that at that time, if it popped back in, the point of me saying that was for the I knew in a way, and I said that before, I knew in a way that the Republicans wasn't going to win their seats. The only one that would have won their seats, and I shared this with y'all before, was Kim Klacik. Because if you're a Republican or Democrat, you can vote, you can switch in that right there to vote for them. So wait a minute, my son just asked me to send him something. Yeah, it kind of threw me off. He wanted me to send him something to Cash App. So yeah, to get back to what I was trying to say, I was trying to say, oh my God, he kind of threw me off with that one. But now, just to let y'all know, I don't, like I said, I don't just deal with Democrats. I deal with Republicans too, and I deal with the Green Tea. During this time back in the days, I had met some from the Tea Party too that was running, but they kind of backed up. At one point, they was running strong, but they wasn't running as strong. They don't run as strong as the Democrats and the Republicans. You know, even though you have other political parties out there, the Democratic Party and the Republican Party is your strongest two, right? So for me, once again, because I told y'all it kind of slipped a little bit, I'm trying to bring myself back to what I was trying to share with y'all. To me, like I was sharing with somebody, it's not their political parties that I worry about, right? It's the individual. I want to get to know the person, the human being. So whenever I sit down and talk with anybody, it's like I want to talk to you. And I mentioned this word talking with Wim, and I have to watch it because Wim is a police. So it wasn't the title. I mentioned something about a title, and it's not a title. It's a preference for what he, when he was younger, that he wanted to do as a profession because he wanted to spread a little bit love to people, a little bit more love. So now that's why I say, when it comes to anybody, say profession. And it doesn't matter about your money because you can be a beautiful individual with millions and billions and nothing. But it's to get to know the individual. If y'all get where I'm trying to go at, because I'm trying to hit back to this spot that I just left from before my son texted me to send him some change. So I'm just kind of rambling a little bit, but I'm trying to work my way back. But yeah, that's what I do. That's what I do, y'all. I'm gonna just say, as a human being and as a man, and I look at Baltimore City, and we got some of the most beautiful places in Baltimore City that you can go visit that a lot of people don't know about because you're so used to staying in your little area. But there's some beautiful things here. We just don't adventure out that much. And when I ride through the inner city sometimes, and to know how rough our inner city is, and I be like, man, this is nice. Man, that's nice. And it's quiet. But then you can go a little deeper into something in the area in the city, and it's rough, rigid. Wow. And only because as I grew up with the rats. I grew up with the roaches. So I grew up in infested areas. So I know how depressing that can be for some people. So the goal is now that I was able to grow up out of that, live a more productive lifestyle, live in more conservative areas, where people maintain their stuff and they took care of things. And as I began to grow, it was like, wow. So I realized that you don't have to stay stuck in a certain area or way of life. And people can be taught if you live in impoverished areas and poor areas and ghetto areas, you can learn the right things to do to come up out of it and live a more productive way of life. But you have to have people that's willing to work with you if you don't know how to get to that next level. So because I lived like that at one point, now I'm able to go back and help people walk up out of certain situations and stay up out of it a day at a time. Now I know I can't help everybody. Don't get it wrong. I know I can't help everybody. And sometimes I know I have to back up to realize, these stop, just to get that rest and that peace. and then go back again. Because you do what you can. But I can't do it by myself. And for me to have this building, I have more people. Thank you, Christine, again, because she's down there now. Because I don't know what's going to happen. But she's down there finding them somewhere to go. So they won't be out in the streets. And that's what I need. Nobody's really telling me nothing. And in a way, it's like, okay, as long as I know she got their backs. And then she bringing in other forces to make sure things get done. I'm all right. If it's for me to go in there and take control of that building again, number one, basically more than anything, I got to get it secured from the top to the bottom. Now I'm already in my head, right? Because this girl, from what I understand, boyfriend came through the first floor window. So I'm already looking at something I can put right there where the window can come up, but not to the point that a body can come in. Matter of fact, she get ready to be moved somewhere else. But it's not just that. I need to fix it where it'll come up in case they need air. Block that in, right? Just in case they need air. Block that in. So won't nobody climb in and out. Because I'm looking at the safety too. Mainly of the women and the children. See, that's where my mind goes. But once again, it's on a larger scale now. It's not like the two houses that I had. Now we talking about a complex, a building. And sometimes, if it's because of me and the way I might go into my big mouth while in state, and to be honest, to me, that's normal. It's normal to me because that's like a battlefield to me. That's like a battlefield. To y'all, if you, that's, and I be reading up on that type of spiritual bad behaviors. Because I was wondering what was going on, be honest with y'all. For me to go in certain places. And one day, because I kept saying it, I said, I'm a warrior. I'm a warrior. My mouth, I war with my mouth for Christ. I kept saying it. I kept saying it. I kept saying it. I was just saying it. I'm a warrior for Christ. And somebody happened to send something, said, even said, spiritual warrior is warrior spirit. I think it was warrior spirit. And I started reading into it, and it was describing me to a T. Warrior spirit. And I said, okay. Because I had been saying it all along. I kept saying, my mouth is the biggest weapon for Christ, for the body of Christ. My mouth, my mouth. But it's a lot of y'all that wants to quench it. When you come at me, when you start calling me names like, oh, he bipolar, oh, he's schizophrenic. No, he not. I was never diagnosed with no bull junk like that. And if I was, I would try to fix it to the point that, if I had to take meds, that's what I'm saying. If I was something like that, I know how important it is to be able to think as clear as possible. Like understanding 1 and 1 is 2. No, it's not, it's 11 because 1 plus 1 is 2. Okay, 1 and 1 is not 2. If you do 1 and 1, even though it's 1 and 1, it turns into 11. I know y'all probably say stop. 1 plus 1. Then we go 2. Because you added. See how you separate it? But you can play with them both. Because 1 plus 1 can be 11. No, that's 2. But it's saying that sometimes And me saying that I am a warrior for Christ is a part of me understanding who I am as a human being. And I know a lot of y'all that really don't know who you is. And that's why you'll tell yourself, oh, I wouldn't do this, I wouldn't do that. Because one thing I understand about me and in my spiritual journey, everybody is not on that type of plane. Everybody is not. And what I happen to do, I'll run across people that's there, but a lot of us is more apart than we are close. So it's time from times where somebody might pop up and we like there spiritually. We there. They can feel me, I feel them, we understand each other. And then it's just like, if you're the type of person that likes chaos and confusion, you're going to go and seek chaos and confusion. Certain things I just don't care to be in or stay in too long. You get me? Because after a while, it won't feel right. And for me, I have to back out of it. I can come in, but if I feel it like that, then I'll be like, never mind. And some people will go around, mainly on TikTok, and make some of the ridiculous comments. And a lot of people will gravitate to it. On Facebook, too. I can make a comment to something, might get one response. Somebody can make a negative comment to something, might get 10,000 responses. I'll be like, wow. Wow. And it just goes to show you where a lot of people's mindset is at. And once again, it's not to judge it. It's just to understand where we at sometimes. Where we at, and I'm looking at basically in here, spiritual. And by me being older now, I'm talking about 63, I ain't for a lot of the chaos and the confusion. I'm not for it. I'm not for it. I'm not for it. I'm not a kid. I'm not for a lot of the chaos. When I say the confusion, right, because it breaks your peace. It breaks your peace. And I'm not for it. Now I might create my own bull jump, but for other people with the he said, she said, I don't know if you lying or not. That's the point with that. Like if you come to me and say, oh, she said this or she said that, my thing is don't do that because I don't know. Mainly with my clients, I don't know. So that person might have did this, that person might have did that, and that might have happened amongst you two. So I don't know. So if you come to me, I'm not going to go with that was wrong what you did, that was wrong what you did, because I don't know who's telling me the truth. So I try not to get in it. It's like whatever issue it is, y'all need to find a way to resolve it. So many people, and I can tell you over and over and over and over and over my truth. Well, such and such said, okay. Well, that's not really what it was. But they did say it. That's not really what it was. It wasn't like that. And the reason why I'm saying that, because when you don't really know the truth, don't do it. Because what you'll have a tendency of doing, and I'm talking about in my case, when somebody said this and that towards me, rather than you just even leave it alone, you can hear it out. You can hear it out. But don't point at me like I actually did whatever they told you I did. And I'm trying to tell you, I did not. And then you want to keep going. Because what you're doing is like you pushing it at me. And then you wonder why I get mad. Because you're not trying to listen to what I say. You just steady coming at me and you don't realize you beat me up. You trying to beat me up. because you don't even know the truth. You just going off of one side of something. And when you come and address that other person with it, without giving them a chance to say something, you turn their ass up. And in my case, when you do it, and I'm trying to, no, it wasn't like this, but they said, no, I was right there. Is you gonna let me tell you what happened? And then I tell you what happened, because what they said, it might have turned it around, right? Now you stuck, because you don't even know who's telling you the truth. That's why I try not to get into certain things when you don't know the truth. If, or when I say you don't know, like if you haven't actually seen it for yourself. Because I had people come and telling me certain little shit, the same things I told y'all. And you gonna come back and say, well, they said blah, blah, blah. I said, well, didn't I tell you that? That's why you leave it alone. You leave it alone. If it's something you didn't see for yourself, leave it alone. That's why I said I can only tell you about me. I can only tell you about the role I play. Lord, I can tell you what they said to me, and you might not believe it because, oh, they cool and calm now. Oh, yeah. Only reason why I'm saying this is what helped me stop, basically, from getting into a lot of he say, she say stuff. Because I can only tell you, like I said, from my experience, what happened between us. So you want to get both sides of the story, but don't point no fingers. And that's sad. Cause I'm gonna tell you certain little things that happen, and I know straight out what happened. I know straight out the truth. I know the truth because I was there and you wasn't. But you want to come to me and tell me everything that person said, you wasn't there. And when I go to say something, you want me to shut up while you finish telling me everything that person said. And it was me and that person there together. And you know what I'll do to humble myself? Shut up and let you get it out. And then when you do, I'll tell you now, let me tell you what actually happened. Because I was there. You just fucked yourself up. Because you came in with one side. I'm the other side. You came right in, bam, 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 bam. And I'm sitting there taking them hits, pit, pit, pit. All right. You done? Man, it's my turn. And by the time I finish it, because I'm giving you the other side of it. I'm giving you the other side. Now you don't know who to believe. That's why you don't bring it. That's why you don't bring it. You don't bring it. Because that one person gonna say whatever they say to make that person look bad. But guess what I do? Everything that person told you, I probably already talked about it on here. So you just got one half. And I might say, go look on my thing. Because now I'm telling you what expired again with us. And then you'll turn around and shut up. Because now you looking dumb. You thought you had some news to tell. That's why I don't know, like, who's coming to me to tell me the truth. So it's say like, you got two people over there. They might want to come and get out what happened. You let the next person come out and get out what happened. You don't pick or choose. You don't pick a side. You never pick a side. You never pick a side. Because when you have two different opposites, you know what people saying, you never pick a side if you didn't see it for yourself. That's what eliminates. And I'm teaching y'all something. For some of you real educated people, you never pick a side. Because if you didn't see it for yourself to know the truth, you don't know who's coming to you lying. Their story might sound a lot better than that one's story. But the one that sounds a little bit better, you're going to pick their side. And the one that really do nothing gets scorned. And that's what y'all be doing to me. 1 minute, this person didn't give me money. The next minute, they gave me money. This person lied in front of everybody and said, I never gave them their rent money. All of a sudden, I'm talking to somebody the other day, and they said, well, she said the only money you gave was the $600. I said, oh, no. Because she was gossiping. That conversation was already talked about. And you stood right there yourself when she told the police, he don't give me nothing. Then turned around and told the police, oh, yeah, they do. Then turned around, look, said this. I didn't even know he was in the building with his business, right? Then gonna turn around and say, you can get my keys back. I'm like, do that give you a good, do you understand when this person do or say what they say, do that helps you understand they are very bright and intelligent? When they contradicting their own self, you don't look at it and say something ain't right here. That goes to show me what you're thinking. I'm like, God dang it. You the one told me don't shh. Because she flip-flopping. I'm like, a Big saying, I'm only saying that y'all to help y'all understand. Unless you see stuff for yourself, don't get into it because that shit will drive you crazy. Because you don't know, right? This one said this one sound that story might sound a little bit better than that story. And you're going to go for the one that sounds a little bit more reasonable. And all the time, you're completely wrong. Or what is it? Logical. You ain't gonna You ain't gonna have me going cuckoo, cuckoo. And that's that's what I had to learn, Big Sam. I ain't getting in it because I don't know. Right? And that's how, and I'm just saying for me, that's how you tend to have some peace in your life. Because when you don't know, you don't know. And you don't want to, later you might kind of think about stuff and be like, but when you don't know, you don't know. And that's why I'm just saying for me, because I'm too damn old now. And you don't want to wrinkle yourself. It's like what you don't know and don't understand, it's okay. And I like when I look at myself not being smart. And you see the gray right here? And to be 63, and it's like, to me, it's not a full thing because of the stress of life. And that's what I'm talking about, how stress of life. And you know how some people, because they stress so much, and some of them have naturally full of gray that looks white, you know. I think that look nice. But it's like, for me, I know I'm 63. But when I look at myself, to me, I don't look 63. I don't look like an old man. You get me? And for me, I don't want to wear like the stress of life. I don't want you to see the stress of life on me or wear me down. Just like when I came on here earlier and I was looking at my face, and my face was so bright and shining. Y'all might not have paid attention to it, but I look at myself like that. And I'll see that shine. And sometimes when life stress you out too much, you might have a darkness come across you. But when you see that shine or that aura, even if life bothering you, but when you can see that glow or that aura on yourself, the whole goal is you're not trying to let it wear you down. You're not trying to. No matter what happens in my life, I try not to let that stress. That's why I come on my live. Because to me, it's a stress reliever. And then when I come on, you never know who might else need to hear it. Or could be in a certain place, you know. That's why you never tell nobody, don't say this or don't say that. Because when I open up my mouth, I don't know who need to hear where I'm coming from. And it might not be you. That's why I say if I'm up here talking and you don't like what I'm saying, or you're not catching what I'm saying, don't stay on. It's not meant for you. It's not meant. Because there's times where you can come up and I might be hitting and holding. And it's times you come up, you might not understand a goddamn thing I'm saying. So that means you don't have to stay up or you don't have to say nothing. Don't contradict what I'm saying. Because it might not be for you. It might not be. And I learned that just sharing NA meetings and stuff. Whenever I open up my mouth, I don't know who God might be telling me to say something to. I don't know who. And it might be that, I'm talking about like that one individual. They might not be in Baltimore City. They might be in Africa. They might be in California. They might be in the UK. They might be, Florida. I don't know. And they might have no come past, right? And heard something and just go right back up. Huh? But see, I'm just saying for me, because I'm not going to come behind you and say, well, I ain't going to say what you said. It wasn't meant for you. You ain't got to say it. You ain't got to. And I already know every time I open up my mouth. A guy with the lift. What? He was telling me about this. I took a picture. I said I'm gonna read up more on him, right? He was talking about, uh, come on, come on, come on, come on, you the other way, you the other way, you the other way, you the other way. Uncommon, Tony Dungy, Uncommon. And when he started talking about this guy, everything he was saying that the guy talk about, and it's more like catered towards men, building up men, teaching men how to be more responsible and stuff like that. But he was so mellow when he was saying what he said. And it reminded me, as I was listening to him, talking about this guy, even with the marriage and all of that. So when I talk about the couch conversation, right, keeping it real, y'all know I talk about the marriage. I talk a little bit about everything. But the goal with a lot of the stuff I do is mainly encouraging and motivating our men. So as he was saying this, right, he was talking about, it reminded me so much of me. But then listening to him, I told him, I said, the difference with me, I'm considered as the big mouth boy, black dude. He bust up laughing. I said, I want to read up more on him And the point of reading up more about him, because the journey is spiritual, and a lot of y'all miss it. And when it comes down to being a man, even though I have done, I don't want to say no inappropriate stuff, but I've done some learning stuff out of life, the best way I can put it. And I'll share about those. Y'all know I will too. But the goal is helping our men growing from those boyish behaviors like I used to practice. Growing from boys to men. And if you want me to do it again, I say boys, teenagers to men. Right? Because after a certain age, or if you become a father and you have a wife and you have children, the goal is to help you better understand your responsibilities as a man and taking care of your family as a whole. And see, I can talk all about that because I'm good at that too. I can share where I fell short at. Because even though I stepped outside my marriages, it did not make me a bad man. I can use bad names though. Sorry, no good, son of a CB. I can say that. But guess what? I'm still a loving, kind, considerate person. I just made not a mistake. I ain't mean no mistake, because that wasn't no mistake. I made a decision to practice some unhealthy behaviors. And they're mine. You cannot have them. Those was things that I done. They don't belong to you. So don't claim my mistakes. I can tell you how I got better from not doing them again. And if you caught up in the area and you need to know how to break that cycle, I can share with you what I did to break that cycle. And I ain't caught up in it no more. So when I hear a lot of our brothers, right, it's not to judge you for it. Cause I remember, man, I was like that too at one point. But I felt like trash. That's the point. And I know you feel like trash. But this is the way you can bring some peace back from that and feel whole again or clean. See, in order for you to help somebody to move forward, you have to have been through it to really understand the pain and the suffering and how you was able to overcome it. And you feel that peace and joy and happiness in that area. And you might think about it from time to time again, but you'd be like, nope, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. And see, a lot of our men need to hear other men talk like that to help them understand, bro, I ain't got to do it. And I'm going to tell you like this right now, queens. I'm a loving, caring, kind, considerate man. And I do make mistakes too. I can be a rotten, no good son of a sea biscuit. You see this one person right here? You see this one person? I'm still that person. So I'm talking about characteristics, personality. I'm still the same human being. I got a good side and a bad side. Love me, the complete part of me. Sometimes when I'm acting like a fool, love me. Sometimes when I'm acting like the best I can be, still love me. But that good side might show up more than that negative side you give me. Love me. I ain't understand that for a while, but if you're going to love a person, you got to learn to love the complete person.
Well, I only gonna like the good side. And they start acting like they're a fool, I'm gonna let them go.
Everybody got a good side and a bad side. It's part of your makeup. It's how you deal with it. Okay. Some people just don't want to deal and accept that rough side. That's why a lot of times I as an adult, I try to let the good qualities show out more. That loving, caring side. I ain't nothing like I used to be compared to how I used to respond and act. I ain't nothing. But I'm gonna share this, and I see you dropped OG because I know this your sleep time. But I just want to say, um, they came to the building some days ago with a warrant, and the person that I was told the warrant was for, then, but actually, they actually locked him up, from what I was told. Because when I talked to somebody else, they said the warrant was for me. And I couldn't see why would somebody go get a warrant on me. What's the warrant on me for? So anyway, um, or it might have been a summons to come to court. But anyway, after I went and talked with my PO, I wasn't really worried about it. Because I figured if it was anything out there, she could have looked it up on the computer too. But she didn't go through all that. But I did give her the date that's supposed to be for July the 21st. And I explained that to her with the young girl coming in my goddamn office, messing with my paperwork. Anyway, and like I told her, I didn't know this lady, same things I told the judge. I don't even know her. When you come for me, like I said, one, I do not deal with women without other women. So if you try to act like I did something to you personally, that's a damn lie. I don't deal with women without a woman being there. My staff, I don't play. And my staff can speak for me. So if you go to tell a lie, and I got my staff there, like the board meeting I had last week, when this guy came at me, you can go downtown all you want. Number one, you wasn't even supposed to be in my building. The goal was to help your baby mama. You came running off with your mouth and threatened me when I told you I got their back. So I thought if anything happened, it might have been something like that. But I found out the same girl that I put in a smaller room, somebody turned around and put her in the room by herself and put a new lock on the door. A whole apartment. You don't do that. I'm like, what in the world is y'all doing? Well, anyway, um, when I say I don't deal with individuals like that by myself, like one-on-one, it's always people around me. So if you go and try to lie on me, it's just I have to go through the process. Whatever. So you run downtown, you want to press charges, fake charges on something that didn't really happen. I got a crew right there that can speak up for me. I ain't even got to open up my mouth. It's just for me, I'm trying to avoid the popo. Because no matter what I say out my mouth, I'm going to tell you what I am and what I do. And I started realizing you ain't trying to hear that stuff. You trying to see what law did I broke. So I'm like, I don't want to talk. Don't talk to me. Right. But that's how I feel with the popo, right? But anyway, I got a phone call that the young man they grabbed, right? So I said, oh, it was. They told me that it was for him. So I don't know, y'all, because I got to get back down the building. I'm not in a hurry to get to the building because it's like too much chaos and confusion. And when I do go, I'm going to have to take a team with me. So I'm going to get ready to let y'all go. I love y'all. But the point of me saying all of that, I'm glad that I spoke with my PO. And, just to explain to her, I'm 63, y'all. Why I'm gonna wait till I get 63 years old and start doing stuff that can have me behind bars? I ain't trying to lose my freedom. You understand? Where I can come and go as I please, or if I don't want to go out today, if I don't want to go out tomorrow, if I don't want to go out, I ain't gotta go out. If I want to go out, I can go out. What do I want to lose that for? And this is what I can't understand. Why do guys feel like it's okay to want to go and just do something crazy and get yourself locked up? What? And then if you got a family, like young babies and teenage girls and boys and stuff like that, who gonna be there to watch them? Who gonna be there to protect them? And you behind bars over there wanting to get slick with the dudes, and your sons and your daughters out here struggling, trying to find a life, even though that might be the best place for you because of your behavior. But you dead. And you want to sit up here and buck, oh man, going to jail. And I'm looking at you like, what? You what? I'm like, no. The heck I want to lose my freedom for? And a lot of y'all men take pride on that. That's some sicky wicky bull crap. Them 11 months I was over there, I was like, no, look, oh. And I got guys, I was talking to guys that was over the prison, been there since they was like 6 months and stuff. I'm like, huh? And they only like, some of them was in prison when Al Capone and all of them was there. Talking about Alcatraz and all. I'm like, hi, you how old? 21. I'm like, what? I'm talking to my brothers. The hell I want to go there looking around for all guys walking around. And look, some of them don't want you walking around with no shirts on and stuff. I ain't know that. You ran there flexing in front of a bunch of men. What is your problem? Pants hanging down a little bit and y'all think that's cute. I want to go home. I was asking the security guards from the time I was over there, can I just walk around the block? I'll be back. I just need to get out for a while. I want to walk around the block. I don't understand y'all. I'm talking about to some of y'all brothers that think that's cute. You go, you come out. To Sean, I'm gonna hurt you. You gonna text me talking about cheese? Oh, see that? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh my God. Sorry, y'all. This one of my staff members told me what happened down the building. Telling me what happened down the building. That's why I'm laughing. I ain't down there. Look. My name Bennett. I'm not in it. I'm kind of laughing, right? Because some of the people I put in control, they're acting like fools too. That's what I said. That's why I said I gotta get me a whole new staff for that. I gotta get me a whole new staff. I don't know what the freak that happened then. Uh, I don't know. Oh my God, I'm telling Tashawn, you need to stop. And she over there cracking up. I don't know, some people okay. I'm just looking at some people's okay living like that in a bunch of chaos and confusion. I ain't for it. That's why I said, and I mean they homeless people, right? So I have to make sure. That's why I'm glad Christina Flowers doing what she doing, because we know not to put nobody right out to be homeless again. So once I go back and like I said, I got to go from the top up and make sure coming down, make sure whoever I bring, because I got to bring a team. I'm gonna go through that motherfucker like the mall squad. Right? What? I'm telling you. I'm telling you. So right now, I feel good that Christina Flowers is working on the ones that need replacing them. Because my thing is either way, I can always get a whole new crew. But there's certain people that if I don't take back over the building, 908, if I don't take back over the building, I am going to take the ones with me that I can. And those are the ones that's not doing some of the craziness. But I don't want to turn my backs on the other ones too. But I'd rather have them somewhere where they can basically get the proper help that they need. Because like I said, and some of them are going to need that 24 hours around the clock service. And I mean monitoring wise, even with somebody giving them their meds and stuff like that. Because we're talking about most of your homeless people that's dealing with bipolar, schizophrenic, mental issues. So that's why I said they're gonna need that 24-hour round the clock service. And they have to be professionals because they got to know how to deal with certain behaviors. They got to know how to do, I was going to say preventive maintenance, but they have to know how to do, oh God, pop in, de-escalation, de-escalate them. Because when a person is not on their medication, they tend to wow. So you have to know how to bring them back, de-escalate, right? And I'm pretty good with it, but I'm not there all the time to do it. And that's why, for me, like I said, if it seemed like it's going to break out into like a fight, that's when you call 911 to avoid that. So when I heard the other night that 911 came out because it was a fight, they told a couple of them to just take a walk. Now, this where I'm at with a lot of that. You don't want nobody locked up. You don't. But when you're dealing with these type of people and they take a walk, they can take that walk, but then they might come back and really do something dangerous. And this is what gets me with how the police department works. And not only that, say like one of my houses, and me and my client had a little issue. I couldn't go back to the house. That's my business. But the client was all right to stay. And my thing is that's some dumb shit. Because if a person is a fear of their life in that sense, why leave them there when something could happen to them? Whenever you got somebody that might feel like something dangerous might happen to them, you take them out of that dangerous situation. But this is the way some of your most educated people think. It's for you to leave the place. Now, I got other clients there. But if I have a way to get back into the house or do whatever, why would you leave that person there? Because basically, you're putting their life in danger. Why not remove them and put them somewhere else to safety? And you know, judges have a tendency of doing that, leaving them right there. They could be seeking for safety, and they will leave them in a situation where they could actually be taken out, taken down. I don't get the logic of that. I don't. And I've seen it happen where they left that person that's in danger in a certain place where something might could happen. And you might not be the one to do it. Now, you let me say something like this to a judge or somebody like that, which I know you did wrong, even for the statement. Because the goal is, if a person feel threatened or their life in danger, why leave them there? That's why a lot of people won't speak out on certain things like I did. If a woman in an abusive relationship, marriage or something, you'll remove the male. Like, go take a walk for 3-4 hours. Calm down. Some of that might help in certain times. But if it's something that's been consistent, you want to move that person out to safety. Because you're taking them out of that situation just for the moment. Then, if you bring them to where I'm at, not now, you want to make sure they got protection around them, just for this facility being safe. That's why they have them places where they can go, like Roberta House. And that individual, if they follow them, they got a, you know, protection there, like security, where if they have to arrest that person for either coming on the premises or something. Because most of those places protect women from abusive, you know, relationships. So if my building is equipped, well, we could bring them in like that too. That's what I'll do. Because number one, our front door is secured. Making sure all the cameras in there working. Making sure all the doors that's around, right, that you can exit in and out, like the back doors, stuff like that. You want to make sure they're secured and locked. Any windows on the first floor that somebody might can come in, you want to make sure they can only be up so far. Just for the air part. Because see, when I come into something, that's what I look at. Because I want to make sure the clients are safe and well protected. So I love y'all, and I'm going to get ready to end this. And thanks for your support. Thanks for your love. I don't know what's really going to happen. From what I understand, at 9:08, the owner was talking about selling the building. Like I said, nobody talked with me. Thank you again, Christine Flowers, and whoever that's working with you to replace them. Because one thing I do know, because of the type of transitional housing I run or I do, it's going to always be people that need help, that needs, you know, a safe haven. When I come on, the goal is, because this is the Couch Conversation Show, I talk about politics, I talk about marriage, I talk about, you know, relationships, I talk about children, I talk about, you know, I try to, like, whatever we're addressing, you get me? It's not a specific topic, because sometimes I can start with a topic, but you know, you tend to go off, and it's just the point of getting back. So it's more like conversation. So anything somebody might want to talk about, when I get to that point that I can bring up panels, because I can bring up 10 people on my restream. I'm just not good with doing it yet. Just like I can bring up 8 on my TikTok. But I'm not real good with it yet with my restream. But once I learn a little bit more how to bring people on, I will be sending y'all. Not only that, you can pay for a slot on my restream broadcast to broadcast whatever you're doing. So whenever you stream on this, you can restream to all other channels. Hold on 1 minute, please, y'all. Ah. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and end it. But I love y'all and thanks again, okay?